In this video, I'm going to show you the exact ad strategy that generated one of my clients over $50,000 in just 7 days. I'm going to explain why your ads aren't performing like they used to, what even are native ads, and how you can implement them into your own business. I'm also going to reveal the exact campaign structure and testing framework that I used to generate this result. So make sure to watch this video till the very end, because if you don't understand the last two steps, you're never going to be able to find winning ads. Now, why aren't your ads performing like they used to a few years ago? It's firstly because they look like ads. And this right here is a perfect example. It's filmed in a studio with a wooden panel background, a couple of light strips, a podcast microphone. It starts with a generic hook people have literally heard thousands of times by now, and instead of showing Sunny as an electrical engineer working on the job site, they just used a picture of him and essentially overlaid that with a green background. And ads like this don't break the pattern, they don't stop the scroll, and literally build zero connection. The second reason is because your ads lack emotion. Think about it. The first time people are ever gonna see your ad is in the middle of them doom scrolling on Instagram. So after you successfully break the pattern and they actually stop and watch your ad, you have to evoke such strong emotions in them that it's gonna trigger a subconscious behavior, so they're gonna actually press the button, go to your Instagram profile, and drop you a follow. You literally have to treat this as the first micro commitment they're taking towards working with you. And the last reason is because your ads essentially create negative associations in their mind. Most of us are operating in level 5 market sophistication, and people don't believe in new mechanisms because they're aware of different business models and ways of making money online. So as soon as they see a setup like this, or maybe you leaning on a supercar with a Dubai background or a Miami background, they're instantly going to label you as a guru who they maybe got scammed by, 2 years ago, and they're just gonna swipe off. So now that you understand why your ads aren't performing like they used to, I wanna explain what even are native ads. Research has shown that the average person sees roughly between 15 to 50 ads on Instagram every single day. So the goal with our ads is to make them look as close to the native content people are already used to consuming on Instagram. This way, they're gonna see something that's familiar, and their brain is not going to instantly think, oh, this is another ad. You're gonna have a way higher chance of actually breaking a pattern, building a genuine connection. People are gonna engage with your ads, which is going to push it a lot more in Meta's algorithm. Now let me show you the exact process and structure I like to follow when it comes to coming up with native ads. It all starts with a recognizable hook. And the way you're going to find these hooks is by looking at your direct and indirect competitors. Now, Callum is an indirect competitor of my client Ollie, who was the one who was able to generate over $50,000 in 7 days. And when I was scripting ads for Ollie, I essentially pulled up his Instagram account, went through all of his content and found those 10x outliers, essentially viral videos, and listed them all out. And I started to spot a pattern. He was either constantly posting these green screen type of videos where he borrows authority from industry leaders in the hook, or storytelling content. It was constantly these three. So I obviously noted them down and wrote the exact hooks or hook formats that he used. And it's literally as simple as that. Now, one thing that I want you to remember when it comes to coming up with these ads is you need to follow a rule called show, don't tell. As I said before, we all operate in a level 5 market sophistication, and people simply don't believe the words coming out of your mouth. So instead of you showing, for example here, let's use Sunny as an example, as an electrical engineer, and just using a picture of him, it's a lot better to use a B-roll of him on a construction site, and people can then have that visual proof that this is actually true and you're not just coming up with random things to make these ads work better. And then the second thing is just, as I said before, really avoiding this. Podcast studios and supercars and all the other things, because people are going to instantly label you as a guru. It triggers that negative association in their mind, and they're going to skip your ad faster than you could even imagine. Now, after you have your hooks all listed out and you see the framework, and obviously you have all the examples there, you need to bridge to the value. Now, when it comes to value, you need to understand in which stage of awareness your ICP even is. So, for example, with Oli, we looked at all the sales calls recordings, we looked at the DMs, and we identified that 95% of his ICP is problem aware. So essentially, they all wanna make money online, but they don't know the solution yet. Like, they're tired of their jobs or like part-time jobs, but yeah, they don't know that appointment setting is the way that they can kind of get into the online space and get that freedom, so they can start making 3 to 5K per month and essentially leave their hometown, travel to Bali or wherever in the world. And essentially what we've then done with our copy is made educational value. So essentially, after the hook, we needed to bridge to education because we know that his ICP, his dream clients, aren't aware of the solution. So we had to educate them. If your ICP is in a different stage of awareness, make sure that you adjust your copy after the hook to match their awareness level. Otherwise, you're never going to be attracting those people. And this is one of the main reasons why with our ads, 80% of the people that were following through were all qualified, because we knew exactly who we were speaking to and in what kind of stage of awareness they were in. Now, another thing here that you just need to quickly note, when it comes to writing copy, like, research has shown that like most of the people, like, their, what is it called, like literacy skill is on a 6th grade level. So your copy needs to be super easy to understand and it needs to be dumbed down. So whenever like you're educating people, don't use sophisticated words, and it's very, very important that you use their language. Use the words that they're sharing with you on sales calls, and then, yeah, just leverage it in your copy, because this way they're gonna feel that you understand them. You're using their language. You can relate to them, and sometimes they are aware of this. Sometimes it happens very subconsciously, but it's gonna massively help with an ad performance and even like making these ads convert. And obviously, at the end, after you have a proven hook based on the formats that are absolutely ripping organically for your direct or indirect competitors, after educating them, if you, for example, have a make money online offer, and after just making sure that your education is very dumbed down, you need to end with a social proof, so essentially leveraging a case study of a client transformation that was once in their exact position. That's extremely important, because that's going to give even more relatability that you were already able to take somebody who was once in their shoes to the outcome they want, and obviously end with a call to action, which is either like dropping me a follow or commenting for a specific keyword. Now, how do you actually test these ads and structure it in a campaign? For example, in an app like Notion, or it can be also like on Google Drive, whatever you prefer, you want to create some sort of a library where you have all the hooks from all the formats that you found, one copy of value and proof, and then another version of that, and obviously 2 different call to actions, one to follow me and one to message me. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna structure your campaigns this way. So you're gonna have a green screen hook, you're gonna pair it with value and proof section 1 and with a follow me call to action. Then another ad in that same campaign is going to be same hook, but obviously to a different copy, and then again to follow me call to action. And then obviously you just repeat the same thing. You have this and you lead to a message me call to action, and then you obviously have this and you lead to a message me call to action. So in every campaign you're gonna have 4 different ads, and obviously then you just rotate. Then you pick authority and then you pair it with this, and obviously you just repeat the same process all over again. So in this case, obviously we had 3 different campaigns. In total, we had 12 different ads. And after looking at the numbers, which I'm gonna share with you just in a second, we were able then to identify, okay, this is the best format for when it comes to hooks in his niche. This is the best like value part, and this is the best call to action. And then we were able to find that killer ad that generated him most of the money that you see right here. So as you're split testing all of these different campaigns, it's important to know what are the key metrics you should be looking for to know if this ad is a winner or you should turn it off. Your cost per profile visit should be between 10 to 20 cents, cost per qualified follower between $2 to $5. Total qualified followers you should get from like these ads should be between like 60 to 80%. Obviously with Oli it was very, very high, 80%. New conversation start at 95%. Cost per qualified appointment between like $80 to $100. Show up rate should be 75 at bare minimum to obviously 95. ROAS between 5 to 15x, and obviously lifetime value of your clients should be at least $3,000. But obviously if you're running like a B2B offer, it's obviously 5 figures or even like multiple 5 figures.